you know, sometimes I sort of hold out hope and I think, wouldn't it be good if he could just put on weight? But I don't think he can because I don't think there's enough high caloric foods, you know, to his eye's better. Like it's not 100% better, but it's a lot better than what it was. I think I've annoyed him. But do you blame him? He had like whatever it was, a seed or something in there. It kind of would be good if the vet could just say, yeah, we could save him, you know. We've kind of got that little hope, but it's freaking ridiculous. Like, seriously, I'm going to be devastated. You know. I'm just going to sit with him and just, sorry. Turn that around a bit so I can sit on it. He's got pain relievers. Well, we tried everything. We tried ulcer treatment, but I mean, ulcers wouldn't do this anyway. There's plenty of horses have ulcers and don't actually end up like this. A lot of race horses have, you know, stalled boxed horses are only fed a couple of times a day. Yeah. I'm sorry, old man. Maybe if I had a stall up in the sun and, you know, ad-lib feed where I could just give him lots of oils and concentrate it, but I don't know, like, it shouldn't be so hard to get a horse to gain weight, you know, like, because none of the others are struggling like this, so my boy's with me. Oh, rolling a horse poo. He and Elsa went off for a nice walk together. It's nice and sunny. I wait till the sun comes onto this area before I feed them. Mind you, he's not going to have many more feeds left. That's Johnson's old timer. He's got like heaps, and so is Cleo and the hay and just. I mean, if he was putting on weight, like, you know, the thing is the thing that worries me is like also he's got this problem here where the rug's rubbing. Not there, here. And that will cause a sore soon because the fur's wearing down. And probably on here too, actually. Yeah, up on there. It's rubbing down where he's bony. And we're only in June, so it's the beginning of winter. And I just don't have the facilities to kind of... He would need to be put in a boxed by someone who could look after him, you know. Like, you know, under shelter or in a big barn or something at night. He enjoyed eating the vegetables yesterday. He's hungry. I mean, he's always hungry. He's always been hungry. And that's not good either. He's such a sweetie. I just want to sit with him for a while and just, you know. He takes turns in lifting up his front legs. I'm not sure. He's due to have his feet done, but he's not getting his feet done. They're coming out on next week to do the other horses. I need to go slower. Go too fast. My helper hasn't come to do the poos yet. I'm hoping they'll get done today and tomorrow. Mind you, the birds go through them. Sometimes they just kind of disappear into little things, which is good. I'm really sorry, Arthur, and I'm sorry, Penny. I've let you down, which I have. Oh, look. I don't know. I just don't know. I couldn't afford to keep ad-lib feeding him, and he was doing well when I was doing that, but it's costing him like $450 a week or something ridiculous just to get ad-lib feed, hard feed and chaff. So he was eating both, you know, without any problems, and there was pasture, and it was summer. It was warmer. I was doing it for a while. I think I did it in winter too. I can't remember. I have to go back over it all, but yeah. And I could technically lock him up in here and ad-lib feed him hay and just the hard feed, but I just don't know. I mean, if the vet thinks he can have a go, I don't want him to die, but I don't want him to suffer. Don't get me wrong. Like, I don't think he wants to die. That's what upsets me, you know. He doesn't look that bad from this angle. I mean, I know he looks terrible. When you see him from the back end and stand up, like, he kind of looks bigger from the lower up. And when they come from the back angle, you can see how thin he is at the back, the flanks and the hips, and just at the back there, those ribs and all his spine and everything. Actually, he's better than he was when I got him, because he had this lump in his spine that you can't see because he's actually got enough fat there, ironically. But all the old horses lost weight, but he just went because I had no work and it was very hard, and there was summer though, so there was plenty of pasture, but they needed the feed as well. And they were putting on weight, and but I thought he was putting on weight, but then I rugged him and everything, and then when I checked him, I was like shocked, because I thought with the feed he was on, he would definitely have put on weight, you know. Not like, well, that's the thing, is that when I think about it, has he ever really put on weight with a limited feed supply? He's always kind of had like, I ended up just giving him, at the beginning, yeah, but he was getting such massive feeds. Remember, I was feeding him oats, and they were massive feeds, and then he was pooing them all out, and we had a lot of oats growing up everywhere. He was pooing them out whole. We tried crushed oats, but he was just kind of, they were coming out the other end. So I'm not sure how well he was digesting them. At least this old time, everything he's eating is digesting. Like this is the best I think he can possibly have because it's got the prebiotics and probiotics, which I think they need for their immune system to help fight infection because he's so vulnerable. And definitely Cleo needed it for her rain scald. I've used it in the past, but I don't always use it. They don't always need that extra boost, like maybe a weight gain or something else might be better. It depends on their general health, whether it's just weight or looking at their health. I've got some sup somewhere too in there. Container. I cannot reach anything. It's just driving me nuts. I can't reach my grooming kits. It's just, and I need someone to go in there for me and find it because there's too much stuff that needs to be taken out for me to reach it. It's just so incredibly frustrating. I'm at a point I should have just bought more. It's crazy not being able to, you know. And this is good. It stopped raining. It's much more pleasant. Like I'm tempted just to see if the vet can give him blood tests and see, but I mean, look, the vet might just say, no, but I mean, at least if we find out that he's got cancer or something. The vet checked him and thought he was, originally, and thought he was healthy, apart from his weight. I might see if she'll check him and at least his eyes improved. He's got just a little bit of pus, but its redness is gone. Oh no, boy. That's all the Brumby's eating. The Brumby's and a ringing Ruby. At least they're going well. Hi, my girl. The dogs, they always bark when I'm down here. I can't let them all out at once. Always got to leave a couple up there. This is almost, it's pretty good, eh? I don't think I need to put anything on it because if it's healing, like the worst, it was infected, like that was the thing, and I had saturated it with iodine, but I'm not sure that it got in under where it was pussy, and I just wanted it to get the sun. I didn't want to coat it with anything, and like obviously if it had got infected again, like I've let the sun and the air fix it up. She's going to get annoyed at me. It's just a bit there that I'm not using my nails, I'm just using my fingertips. See, that's getting better. In there's a bit. Oh, let's have a look at you here. It's getting better. It's healing. It's healing. I know it doesn't look good, but it's still getting better. See? It's improving. I don't think it really needs anything on it. Like I've got this really good oil that you can put on stuff. I know, I won't pull that off because that's all healing and the scabs are coming off. I want to pull it off before it's ready. I kind of see how I'm doing this and they flick up. They only do that if they're loose. You can't so when I said I lifted them up, you can't dislodge it when it's really tight. Like that one's a bit, I don't want to push that one too much. There's just one in here. So I'll just let that be, it'll flick up in time. It's a lot better. She'll be alright. She's had terrible skin conditions in the past, and Tuppy had a shocking skin condition for a while. after Diani died. It took about 12 months to get it better. It wasn't rain scored though, but it was just everything under the sun, you know. And I didn't even know if I was filming it. I was so busy, I just got lost in thought then. I forgot if I was even filming. She'll be round soon enough. She'll get that extra weight on. It's harder to put weight on them during winter, but she'll be all right. Every confidence in her. I know. I've had her for so long. I know her very well. She'll lose weight quite easily, but not like Arthur does, to a point where it just, you know, it'll come back on with the feeding. Just takes a bit of time, and she needs that extra weight on to cope with the cold, because otherwise she's always shivering it off and trying to beat the cold, you know. See, the others were fat coming into winter, like autumn, you know. Yeah. See, sometimes I think it's better not to put too much stuff on, because I mean, I could put some iodine on it. I just don't like, I've used quite a bit of iodine on it, as I've mentioned, and I really just don't want to, you know, they can get sensitive to it if you keep putting stuff on. Oh, flick that off. See, that's just attached a bit. I don't want to flick it off, because that's sort of, you know, see, that's still attached. So that'll all just come off. Rain score's not normally this bad, but you can get it worse, as you know, it's a discussion with a friend in the comments. And when it's ready to come up, it can be kind of a relief. It can get itchy, like scabs can get itchy, you know, when they're healed, they get itchy. But up until then, they get sore, you know. And I don't think that's much better over those sides, much better. It's funny how one side got worse than the other. I don't know why. There's just some in there, see, that's smaller stuff. And that's sort of normal. That's normally what you'd see rain score to be. Just flicks of hair would come out like that. You don't see great scabs of skin underneath. So that's kind of like a typical rain score. But then so hot. Her hair's hot, like from the sun. And that's why this is so good. See, even just that bit there, getting the sun, that will help heal that there. And that there. And just the gentle breeze. This is just a very gentle light breeze, the air on it. And as soon as I spray something on it, it's like that part of the skin is then covered from the sun and the air. And yeah, I know there's that risk of infection, but as I said, it was already infected, and I'm using the sun to clean it up. And that there, see, that's coming really well, because that was very raw from that first video. That there will be good when that gets up. Just that little bit here, she's got a little bit more in there. Not much. That's mostly up actually. All right, see, you can see there's pus. I don't know if you can you see that? It's pus. And that's why, so that's already kind of like an infection. So that's why by the time you see it, oh here, I'm not going to pull that off, that scab, but you see here, that will get the sun and that will get better. I know, I'm sorry. She's been very patient. I know. She just lifted her leg ever so lightly. And it's like, I've had enough, Mum. I've been very patient, and you have. Oh, God, I keep doing something with the focus, and she got dreadlocks. I don't mind the dreadlocks so much. It's more, because, I mean, they get that in the wild. It's just more the idea of pampering them and brushing them down, because I can use my hand really to achieve what they need, which is their hair ruffled up and those, you know. See how she's got all the hair ruffled up, so if it gets stuck down, it's all ruffled up. And yeah, see, she's looking much better, and she'll end up nice and round. Still sunken in a bit at the flanks. Some salt would probably help that to increase her water intake. This has got water in it. It just goes into a mash. Yeah, so here's my poor boy. I'm in denial now, thinking, oh, I'll get the vet to do blood tests. Oh, yeah. It's like the time of blood tests is way gone, isn't it, darling? You never know. We'll just see what she says. I'd like to bring him up at night, but just to get him out of the frost zone, but I don't know that that's good either, because it's very steep. And at least by keeping him down here, he's with the herd. I didn't mind him up there when I thought he was progressing, not getting worse, but getting weaker. I don't want him having to struggle with going up and down hill, but it's good for their backs and everything to go up and down hill. But they're both on pain relievers. Him because, look at him, and he's got to be feeling something. And her because she's fine everywhere, well, except the rain squall. And the pain reliever will help that. But also this is where she was degloved and she limps a bit sometimes. No, she's a good girl. Don't you leave us for a long time. But she doesn't have to be rugged because she runs hot, so that's fantastic. I'm not going to rug her again. And people will be critical of that, but look, not risking that again. Penny would have been better off not rugged and just having extra feed. Obviously, because she's dead from the rug. So there's no way you can argue that. Well, she would have got cold. Yeah, well, she got cold when she died, so, you know. I don't know. This is, I think, the longest video I've ever done. And probably my mum will be the only one watching it by now. Unless I've got some creepy stalkers. Well, I probably do have those too, occasionally. But I post so much. Look, I've got to say kudos to anyone that is still watching this now. And thank you for being interested in our farm and our animals. And I didn't post much about my horses because they did lose weight. And I felt very ashamed and embarrassed. You know? It's very hard when you've got a rescue horse that you've, you know, prided yourself. Oh, look at him, he's getting better. Look at the good life he's getting. And I haven't got a freaking, I have got a hoof pick. I can't find it. Like, I'm tempted to pick something. You've got to be so careful. I don't want to use a nail or something and scratch his foot. This is just so frustrating. I should actually get, I might just, what's that on your leg? What happened there? Oh, I didn't see that. It's not good. And his back feet are caked in mud. See, I'd like to give him a wash and wash him down and everything, but the problem is I've got to work, right? And just shutting that a bit tighter because I don't want the horses to put their legs through it. It's just cold. Like, yeah, washing him down is one thing, but honestly, it's cold. And even washing their legs down, it's friggin' freezing. For a horse that's skinny, I mean. I've used my fingers to scrape the mud off him and the shit off him with my fingernails and stuff like that. Because I haven't got any grooming implements. I keep kind of thinking, oh, we'll find them, you know. I mean, they're in there. And he's always done this, lifted up a leg, and he takes it in turns. So I don't know what that could mean, whether he's sore. His feet are fine, like whenever he's had his feet done. But who knows? Who knows? Hi, my baby boy. Hi, my boy. Oh, can we look at your eye getting better? Eye's gotten better. I wondered if he had a grass seed in there or something. I just did not feel confident enough at all to try and get, to flip his eyelid back or do anything like that to it. See, she's put on weight, you can see. She needs to just round out a little bit more, but she's just not done it very nicely. So that's a relief. Little boy. He's not doing well. Oh, thanks for watching. I should split out that thing with Cleo's Rain Scald and see, people might be critical that I'm not putting products on it, but the thing is if it's healing without the use of anything else, then that's a good thing. And the best thing for her is her immune system, because she was clearly run down for that to be happening and just getting worse and not better. And that was with treatment. But the problem was I think, is that it couldn't get in under, so that what happens, the infections were starting underneath and sort of formed a crust, and so the iodine would probably go around it all but not in it. And I wasn't vigorous with it, because when it's really slick on, it's just, it would be extremely painful and detrimental to try and pull those scabs off. I've been you can't really tell how gentle I am. I've been very gently flicking at it and rubbing at fur, and so that if the scab's loose, it will help loosen it a bit more. And even that would be irritating her, and it's not ideal, but it was desperate measures because of the pus, and I wanted to get that released, those wounds to the air, like you would an abscess when you're draining an abscess, but it's different because it's attached to her skin and you're destroying, the kind of needed the healing process to form a scab and not just rip it off, So, because it's extremely painful, and I don't think that's very helpful anyway. Then you've got another thing to heal from, which is where you've ripped it off. Whereas this way, she's only healing naturally from what's the actual damage underneath it, not from pulling the skin off. I haven't pulled any skin off, it's just flaked off. It was ready to flake off and then come off. So the bits that needed to be pulled off, I've left there, and they're still on there. So, okay, look, thanks for watching. I'll show you the little ducks. I'm so glad that they're increased in number, and that's just the dogs respecting the birds. Well, they're not respecting the geese enough, and I'm not happy with that. Neither are the geese. And I'm training them, I'm working on them. I'm so happy with them, and that's a good thing, isn't it? They've come along so well. The babies are hiding. They've come along so well, training far better than I could have hoped. And there's like a little beach over there, a little sandy beach. That part's widened, which is good, probably from use, but it's fantastic because it hasn't hindered the creek flow at all, and we've just got a wide little watering hole there. We've got a couple, but that's a really ideal one. It's very central. We've got 3. And one that's much deeper than that. That's reasonably deep, but you can stand up in it. We've got one that we're not sure how deep it is. No one's touched the bottom. Everyone's too scared because you can't see the bottom. We're very lucky to live here. And I need to farm up, get with the program. One of the roosters is harassing the other birds. Yes, you can't have too many roosters. There goes Penny's birds. I never saw those birds until Penny died. So if we've got dogs that can protect us and protect the wildlife, more the better, because I don't want dogs hurting the wildlife. Thank you for watching.